Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome to a FIFA 18 video. Today we're going to be venturing into a different type of series on this channel. Now I've actually recorded similar videos in previous iterations of FIFA, such as my A Squad Off series, which you guys really seem to enjoy. So today we're going to bring that back for a squad of Chelsea rejects. Now if you guys do actually follow me on social media, you'll understand that this is essentially a meme within my community. Every time Mohamed Salah scores, I actually tweet out Chelsea reject in reference to a lot of the abuse that I received when we actually signed him at the start of the season. And obviously Chelsea got a bit of a knack for selling on players, which actually turned out to become very good. And you'll see this by the cards from this squad. It's essentially going to be a starting 11 which genuinely could challenge for the league, if not at least top 4 in the Premier League. Now, of course, a lot of the players that you will see in this squad are not exactly rejects. They just didn't fit into the Chelsea team at the time, or maybe didn't get on with the manager. An example of this is actually going to be the first player, and we'll start off with the goalkeeper, and that's going to be Bertrand. Now, of course, like I did mention, he's been capped over 300 times for Chelsea, pretty much won everything you can with the club. Not really much of a reject, rather being replaced by a younger player who has more potential. Of course, that is Thibaut Courtois. So even though Bertrand was surplus to requirements at Chelsea, so technically rejected, I'm not really sure if we can classify him as a Chelsea reject. Anyway, we'll move over to the right back position. Here we've actually got one of the few players that is actually out of position, but at this time at Chelsea was played out of position. That is Cuadrado. So of course he is a right midfielder, I do believe, on the game, but we're going to be playing him at right back. As you can see as well, he is at Juventus now. He's actually been upgraded, so must have had a decent season in the Serie A. Personally, I don't watch that league, so can't really comment on him. But again, definitely similar to Mohamed Salah's situation, where he is classed as a reject for his time at Chelsea. So then, moving on to our central defenders, here we've actually got firstly a player who I really don't believe was given the opportunity that they deserved at Chelsea. He is a very young player. It's actually Nathan Ake. I believe he is only 23 years of age right now. As you'll be able to see as well on FIFA, got plenty of cards this season, so clearly showed that he can perform at a high level in the Premier League. He's actually, again, another card with a winter upgrade, so 77 overall right now as his base card on FIFA. And again, like I said, just wasn't really given the time at Chelsea. Not really sure he has much of a reject, rather the fact that they don't really seem to develop the youth too well at this club. And Ake being another example of this. Potentially they've got a buyback clause for him, I have no idea. If they do, I'm pretty sure we'll see him at Chelsea yet again in the future. Okay then, as for Nathan Ake's partner, over on the left hand side, we've actually got a player who is going to be playing out of position in this team, and that is going to be Felipe Luis. As you'll be able to see, I actually got 2 cards again, so upgraded during the winter refreshes. Clearly just showing that he can perform at a high standard, because Atletico Madrid, a very good team in the Spanish league, and the fact that he's been upgraded clearly shows that maybe he just didn't fit into the Chelsea style of play. I have no idea. They did bring him in for big money, then shipped him straight back out, so definitely rejected, definitely didn't fit into their style, even though clearly a very good player. As for our final defender in this squad then, over in the left back position, we've actually got Bertrand. So again, another card that is still playing in the Premier League, having been sold from Chelsea in the past. Even though he does play for Southampton, who aren't having a great time right now, he is definitely one of their key performers. And it's actually ironic that we've got 2 left backs in the back 4, considering that this being a position that Chelsea have struggled to fill for a key performer since Ashley Cole actually decided to move to LA Galaxy because coming to the end of his career. Obviously as well, Cesar Azpilicueta did play there out of position, but right now they seem to have this position back on lockdown. So even though both these cards definitely are at a high standard, to be fair, an 80 rated and 86 rated overall left back, it does seem though Chelsea have finally filled this position. Of course, that player being Marcus Alonso as well, who actually since he's joined the Premier League has had a fantastic time, and was previously playing in England for Bolton before he actually went abroad again, and now back at Chelsea and making the left back position his own, even though he does play fairly advanced, to be fair. Going on to the right midfield, so our first midfielder, here we have got the main man, that is Mohamed Salah. Now, of course, as you guys all know, the pretty much the creator of the meme Chelsea reject, at least in my opinion. What a fantastic season he is having. 36 goals, I believe. Just incredible. Just look how many cards this guy's got. Ironically, 85 overall is actually his current base card for a winter upgrade. And this is definitely one who I mean, at the end of the day, this team is created because of Mohamed Salah, because he created the meme of becoming a Chelsea reject. And even though there are plenty others in this squad that do fulfill this term, he is definitely one of the ones which Chelsea, I'm sure, would love to have back at their club. Another one of these being the next player that is actually going to be Kevin De Bruyne. Arguably right now, Kevin De Bruyne, Mohamed Salah, both these guys being the top 2 performers in the Premier League. And of course, neither of them playing for Chelsea, even though at one stage they did do so. So, as you can see, this partnership right now genuinely would be incredible. I think with the amount of other high quality players that Chelsea have got, if they did have both these cards in their current team, they're definitely challenged for the title. But right now, sitting in 5th, and it is not looking pretty for Antonio Conte. The next centre midfielder then that we have got in this team is actually going to be Juan Mata. Now, Chelsea have actually sold a few key players to Manchester United, Mata being one of them. Again, another one that could have easily made this team was in fact Nemanja Matic. Both of them being crucial players for Manchester United, and of course, both of them being around 84 rated as well, so it just does reflect on their FIFA ability that they're great players in real life as well. Mata, I do believe it may have been because he fell out with Jose Mourinho, and ironically, that is now his manager at Manchester United anyway. But it is disappointing to see players like this move from rivals in the Premier League, because to me personally, I don't really understand it. I know Liverpool have sold Fernando Torres and other big players to the likes of Chelsea in the past, but that was basically just to financial greed from the player. Mata though, I do believe he was actually rejected, or at least rejected by Jose Mourinho from the Chelsea team. That's for our final midfielder in this squad. Over on the left hand side, we've actually got Andre Schürrle. Now again, this is another guy that didn't reach his full potential playing for the team, and he is now back in the Bundesliga, this time around playing for Borussia Dortmund. He is 80 rated overall at the moment. As you can see, he does have a strike card at 83 overall. He is a very versatile player, as you can see, playing both on the left and up front. He actually performed fairly well for Chelsea, getting around 10 goals in 40 games. So 1 goal per 4 games, not a bad ratio, especially in the Premier League. Anyway though, we'll move up into the strikers. Firstly, on the right hand side, we've got another player who is actually currently playing for Manchester United. So this is going to be Romo Lukaku. They didn't actually sell him to Manchester United. They sold him to Everton, I believe, for around 30 million, which is actually a significant amount of money at the time. He did also have loan spells, I believe, at like West Brom, where he actually impressed a lot. And considering he was very young, I still don't understand the transfer, to be honest, the fact that they did allow him to go. Anyway though, we've got Lukaku, like I did mention, 86 rated, regarded as one of the best up-and-coming strikers in the Premier League. As you can see, got some very nice cards on FIFA 18. 86 overall being his base card. And I believe Manchester United paid around 75 million for this guy, so just goes to show the potential he does have. And even though he was at Chelsea for a very long time, didn't really have much of a chance in the first team. Similarly to Daniel Sturridge, I suppose, who also went on to have a very good career at Liverpool. But Lukaku, probably going to one-up him and win many titles playing for Manchester United. So even though you might not classify him completely as a reject, considering that he was actually very young when he played for Chelsea and wasn't given too many opportunities, it's definitely a player that I'm sure they'd like to have back in their squad. Next though, we've got a card that actually broke the Premier League transfer record, I do believe, when he did sign for Chelsea, and it was someone that was brought in to essentially become one of the best strikers in the league. And that's actually going to be Andrei Shevchenko. Now, it was towards the end of his career, I suppose, when he did join Chelsea, but as you can see, he's got a 91 rated icon card. He, of course, doesn't play football anymore, as he is an icon. He'd be around 40 years of age now as well, I do believe. But he was regarded as one of the best strikers in the world when they did, in fact, bring him in. I think he come from AC Milan, of course, being a Liverpool fan. I've seen what this guy can do in game. He is incredible. And he really just disappointed, to be fair, at Chelsea. It was not as much the fact that he was a reject, the fact that he actually didn't perform in the Premier League. So, I don't know, it's kind of harsh putting him in it, because of course he's had an incredible career being a 91 rated icon. You of course need to have performed at a very high level for a very long time to even warrant a card like this. But you know what, we're going to throw him in as the final Chelsea reject of this squad. Now if you guys have enjoyed this team and enjoyed this concept, it would be greatly appreciated if you could smash the like button. Honestly, if you built this team in FIFA 18, it'd probably perform pretty well. There's quite a lot of pace in it. There's quite a lot of high rated cards. Of course, 91 rated Shevchenko, an icon, kind of exaggerated. 91 rated overall De Bruyne, 85 Mohamed Salah, 86, Lukaku. Every single one of these cards performs very well at their current team. So, I'm telling you what, a team of Chelsea rejects could potentially beat the current Chelsea team. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. It is a bit of a meme squad at the end of the day, not to be taken too seriously, but the team that we've managed to put together, actually pretty impressive. Anyway though guys, it does unfortunately bring us to the end. If you have enjoyed, we'd greatly appreciate it if you could smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel as well. Let me know in the comment section down below, as I have already mentioned, if you want me to do more teams like this. But other than that, it does bring us to the end. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I will see you next time.